Hello and welcome to episode 54. Hello and welcome. This is a mega episode. Mega because it's in two halves. This is part one, part two coming soon. It's a strip down and rebuild of my Bing carburettors. Quite a daunting task actually, one I've been putting off for absolutely ages, but as I've been leaking fluids out of the carburettors for a little bit, I just had to do it. So basically it's a gaskets, O-rings, diaphragm, etc. Replacement, and while it's in bits, give it a good clean. It's actually quite a complicated task, so I've done it step by step. It's a little bit long. Stay with it, it's definitely worth it. And join me on my journey to rebuild my Bing carburettors. Let's go. So here we have the first of the two. It's always better to do these one at a time, just so if you forget how they go together, you've always got one to refer to. So it is quite a grimy beast, I've got to say. Yeah, also got covered in fuel taking it off. That's another story. Okay, I'll start off by undoing my choke. This choke obviously is a new bit that I've put on, so it doesn't require cleaning to the same extent as the other bit does. Got to be super careful not to see these two prongs here. I need to loosen that like that. There you go. A bit more without using those prongs as a rest. So I've got the nut wave washer and my little grabber. Okay, next I'll take the spring off and loosen that. Easier said than done that actually. There you go. Again, there's a bolt, there's a wave washer. Come on. And then these two plates, which together form the throttle cable holder. Then I'll do the adjustment screw. And then these two. Okay. Right, next it's the top off on my third screwdriver. Yeah, these are nice and loose, these. I might mention I'd give it a bit of a WD-40 before we started. There you go. Okay. So Yeah, that rubber's not 40 years old, is it? Take the float bowl off. Yeah, I think this cork gasket had it. I'm gonna say literally this was the worst of the two for leaking. That's going. Now I need to push this pin out. This is the famous. It's a knurled pin, knurled at one side. Looking at that closely, you can see that the knurl is on this side. Can you see that? Just need to tap that out there. 1 second. Okay, use a little centre punch, which is just about the right size. A couple of gentle taps. There you go. And that pin just slides out. That's in good condition, that, isn't it? And then the float comes off. They also look okay. And then we've got this little fella here. Focus, 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 focus. Yeah. Okay, so the main jet. So they're not just on sort of hand tight really, which is good. That first one was an 8, this next one was a 10. Ooh, that's a little tighter. I might have to use my vise for this one. Back in a second. Well, just sure I got to have, yeah, it took actually a bit of breaking this, but it's in quite tight. Also, this this O-ring prevents any of your penetrating fluid getting past it, which hasn't helped the scenario. Anyway, just so you know, that's eventually come out nicely without me damaging threads and the like. There you go. Look at that. Okay, so I've loosened that up pretty much. It just unscrews now. That's fairly, yeah, interesting, isn't it? Anyway, that's definitely what's cleaning up, so I'll pop that in the cleaner. Then in here we've got that, should be 2 pieces of that, should be atomizer somewhere. There it is. So there's the atomizer and the jet. Yeah, this is pretty gunky. See this level of gunk on this. Oh wow, that's the, is that an O-ring? That's could be the source of my leak. Do you think, guys? Should be a spring in there. There it is. Yeah. Okay. Let's continue. Yeah, those O-rings are massively compressed, aren't they? Look at that. So I'm not sure how long they've been in there, but glad I've got a new set. And I'll do this vacuum plug screw, which is, it's had a bit of hammer, that, hasn't it? This one. It's not its best. Let's see if I can take it off without damaging it. I'm cutting my hand. Okay. Right then. Choke time. Before I take that off there, can you see there's a dimple. I'll point that out with my screwdriver. There's a little dimple here. Maybe I can clean it out. And that basically points towards the air intake. That's the air intake. Yeah, it comes from that hole there. Air comes in there and into the choke. So when we assemble, make sure that dimple's pointing there. These have all come out quite nicely, these screws, which makes me feel there's been a bit of, maybe I need to slip on them when they went in. What do we think, guys? Is there evidence of anti-slip on that or not? Don't know. Anyway, 1. Four. Okay, and then the choke assembly comes off. Okay, there's an O-ring there which we'll replace. There you go. That's waffer thin, that one, isn't it? Sometimes this front bit here doesn't seal right and the air gets in where it shouldn't, so but that one pin all right. Okay, last task then is the butterflies. Let me pick the right size screwdriver for the job. Okay, I think it's that one. Right, well, I'll use my fingers to support the back of that because I don't really want to bend the butterfly rod. So I'll pop those in there. Now, this should just lift out like so. Now, another dimple on this thing here. Tiny thing, if you can see that. There, you can see it there. So that dimple means that it's up and to the front, because these things have got a tiny chamfer on them. Not sure if you can make that out, but it's not like a coin and 90 degrees all the way around. There's a chamfer on that. See that chamfer? And that's designed to just make the seal against the body of the intake there. Okay, then that should just pop out And there's the O-ring that will replace. Okay. I've never seen so many tools, such a small piece of kit, but there you go. Right, that is us pretty much done. So, next job is to clean up the body, the big stuff. Hang on, forgot this. Screw and washer. Or is it a bolt and washer? I never did get that whole bolt screw thing. Someone's bound to comment and tell me. So on these, I'll be, after the cleaning, I'll be replacing the diaphragm, the gaskets, and all of the O-rings. So hopefully we'll have a nice clean and fully functioning carburettor. Okay. Yeah, all four have got the washer on. There you have it. That's in. Can you see that, guys? That's a good look, isn't it? We'll keep that anyway. Right. Time to prep up for my ultrasonic cleaning bath. Right, that's one fully disassembled carburettor. Let me just take a couple of things. Everything here is going to go in the ultrasonic bath for a short while to get cleaned. Everything here won't be. I'll clean them some other way, either, well, probably with this stuff actually. But there you go. A couple of things I want to talk about quickly. I'm using these pod filters, and I know everyone hates pod filters because they're sort of like crap, but they look good. And this isn't really a, this isn't a race bike or a distance bike. This is kind of a bit of a show bike. So one of the things I want to talk about is when you fit in pod filters to a carb, you've got to be really careful about these air intakes here. I've seen a few YouTube videos where you've got to chop out the inside of your pod filter so they don't block these air intakes. Now, this pod filter, luckily, if you can see that, doesn't actually have any shoulder inside it, so that fits over there and doesn't actually impede those channels. So I'm super pleased about that. Otherwise, I'd have had to chop a bit of stuff out of there. So that's one thing. Other thing is, when you're adding a pod filter, what you're actually doing, of course, is you're allowing lots more air into the carb, and therefore the fuel mix won't be right. So you've got to change the jet. This is the bit. This is the jet. And okay, if we can get the size of that, we can get that focused. Can we get that focused? 135. See that? That's a 135. So that will need to be changed, make it a bigger jet, because I need more fuel to match the more air, so the mixture stays constant. Okay. The other bit of jetting you can do is your needle, and on your needle you'll see those steps. There's a circlip, and there's different steps you can put the circlip on. I'm actually not going to mess about with the circlip and change the steps on here. That's beyond my understanding. Well, in fact, jetting is actually beyond my understanding, but I'm going to do a bit of rudimentary stuff which I'll talk about in more detail later on. Okay, let me clean this stuff up, and then we can go into the kitchen where I'm going to do the ultrasonic stuff. Cheers. Okay, this is the before shot. Yeah, let's see how well these come out after a bit of ultrasonic cleaning. And welcome to the kitchen, where it's a lot quieter. That's good. Right, these are the items we're going to be cleaning. You probably know that ultrasonic cleaning can be a bit aggressive, so this is a bit of a test piece. This is a bit of aluminium bar which I'm going to leave in the bath alongside it, and then I can compare it to another piece of bar that I've got. This is off, just so I can see if any pitting occurs on the surface. But broadly what we're going to do is we're going to make up some solution using this stuff, which definitely is the sort of stuff you want for cleaning carburetors ultrasonically. You've got to dilute it with deionized water, which I've got. Then I'm going to warm the bath up, soak the parts in the bath for a little while, and then hit the ultrasonic button, give it a clean. So yeah, let's get on with that. Okay, this is a 3 litre tank, which is just about big enough for the parts, although you need to, it's got a basket inside of it. And when the basket's in, that just slightly lifts above the top, so I'm going to have to, you need to turn the part anyway during it, so there's a bit of a thing. You can't have the parts touching the bottom of the tank. So I'm just going to go with it not touching the bottom of the tank, but not being fully submerged. Put power on, and then the operating temperature goes up to about 60. So we're going to leave that to warm up for about an hour, and then come back and turn the vibrations on. Right, this has been soaking for about half an hour. I just want to show you this. I don't know if you can see that. I have to zoom. Oh well. Can you see the, it's only been soaking so far, but can you see where it's not been submerged? That's just how good that is soaking. So anyway, I'm going to turn that over and soak that for a little bit longer on the other side. Because soaking clearly has a positive effect. Back soon. Okay. That's looking good. Yeah, that soaking appears to have taken quite a bit off actually. Right then, time to turn on the ultrasonic bit, and it's going for 20 minutes, and I'll rotate it every 5, so I've got some movement. So here we go. Okay, well that's, this timer is about 18 minutes, not 20, not to worry, probably a good thing. Right, let's get this fished out of the bath. And then what I'll do is I'll let them cool down, and then I'll rinse them out in fresh water, clean water I should say. I'll put these boys into soak. Well, I am pretty pleased with these results, if I'm honest. That's good, isn't it? That is good. I mean, you do get a better result if you vapor blast them, I'm honest, you know. There's a little bit of marking still, and you would get a better job of doing that. However, I'm really happy with those. That's great. That hasn't changed much, if I'm honest with you. But so there you go. But no, pleased with that. They've come out well. Well, that wasn't so bad, was it? You see, broken down step by step, actually these things are pretty easy. You know, research and then practice, that's what it's all about. So, quick update on my sample piece, the bit I put in the bath alongside it to see what the effects of long-term ultrasonic cleaning are. I mean, it was in the bath for the whole time of all the pieces. It shows no sign of anything different from the piece that was next to it, the piece that cut it from. So I'm sure there is some micro pitting on it. I can't see any difference, to be honest with you, or feel any difference in the surface. But there you go. Part 2 is coming up real soon. Stick around for it.